You had a dream about Beyonce, T.D. Jakes, and Robert Downey Jr.? Ooh, you got a word. Stay tuned and I will show you what to do with that word. Hey guys, it's Demetria and welcome to No Magic, No Miracle, It's Just Method. So let's get right to it. We all dream, but how do we interpret those dreams? How do we use those dreams so that we can really gain the insight that's needed that our dreams are telling us so that we can move forward in life? Some dreams feel like they're soulful, some dreams may feel like they're just fun, and some may feel like they're just really from the Almighty, or some may call their source to tell us something that we're not being cognizant of. Now, as always, I always like to give my disclaimer. I am not your priest, your pastor, your guru. I am not anyone except just a co-laborer. I'm just someone sharing with you my successes, my highs, my lows that you can glean from and say, oh, okay, so that you can live your best life. So before we get into it, let's talk about, does God still talk through dreams? Yes, he does. You know, in Acts 2:17, he says, in the last days, I will pour out my spirit and your young men will see visions and your old men will dream dreams. So God does speak through dreams today, and dreams are a God-given way that God communicates to us. In fact, that's one of the ways he communicates to me a lot, okay? But also, we have to be careful about how we use our dreams, which is really the crux of this video. How are you using your dreams? Because if you go back to Jeremiah 23:32, the Lord tells the people of Israel that I'm against those who prophesy false dreams, okay? You're leading the flock astray, and I didn't send them or appoint them, okay? So you have to make sure, how are you utilizing your dreams? Are you utilizing them to the upbuilding of the kingdom, or are you utilizing them to gain power and favor over other people? Now, this is the thing I really, really want you to get and understand, because I've seen a lot of people on social media platforms that have a dream, and that dream may be about a famous person or someone in the gospel industry or someone who is a celebrity, or they're an artist, and they want to give them a warning. Now, if you check out my video that I did about wanting to bind them, you'll see where I stand on that. Okay, when it comes to someone else who does not know you receiving information from you, that thus said the Lord thy God. Really? Okay, you might want to check that. So when it comes to dreams, okay, what's imperative is application. Okay, so you have your dream, and what I like to do with my dreams, and when I wake up and I have a dream, my cell phone is right on my nightstand, so I just start recording. The iPhone has a recording feature. I just record it right then and there. And then later on when I wake up, during the day, I can kind of go back, I can type it out, I can think about it, etc., etc. But what's important is that first of all, you do record the dream so you don't miss anything that's important. And then application. Now, this is the key part, okay? Applications, number one, and I'm going to say this, and I really want you to hear me loud and clear. Your dreams will always be about you. Please do not make the mistake to think that just because you had a dream and Beyonce was in it, or Gabrielle Union, that means that God is telling you to go tell them something. It's not true. Your dreams are always about you. First of all, let's be real. You think God is so small that he needs you to go to Beyonce, who doesn't know you, who can pick you out of a lineup to tell you something about her? Would Beyonce even listen to you? No, she wouldn't. Why? Because she doesn't know you. Okay? So the dream is always about you. All right? And I'll put this in here now, if you do dream about something and you've gone through the steps that I'll go through later about, applying it to you, and you're really seeing that it's not applying to you, then that's your cue to say, okay, well, Lord, maybe it might be about somebody else. Okay? And trust me, it's never going to be about somebody who doesn't know you. It might be about somebody who you may see on a regular basis. The first thing you need to do, if you really feel that this dream is not about you and it's about someone else, then you need to go to somebody whom you have respect for, okay, who is a believer also. They might be a minister or a missionary, someone who has integrity, who walks with credibility in their walk with Christ. And say, can you pray with me on this? Because I really don't know if the Lord is speaking to me about this person. I've tried to apply this dream to me, but I'm not really seeing it. So can you pray with me, pray in agreement with me, because we know that when 2 or 3 come together in his name, the Almighty says, there I am in the midst. So can you help us, Lord, give me confirmation that is this the right thing to do? And don't think that you need to do this for maybe a dream about somebody else that may be negative, even if it's positive. You don't know where that person is in their state of mind. You don't know where they are in their walk. You don't know what they're thinking, what fears they're trying to overcome. They may present a facade to you, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So before you jump up and say, oh my gosh, the Lord showed me a dream where, honey, you're getting your house. Wait a minute. You need to stop and pray in agreement with someone that this is what the Lord is showing you. Okay? But that is going to be extremely rare. Now one of the, I don't want to say negative things, but one of the sort of the drawbacks of reading the Bible is that we only read the Bible through the lens of certain people. Okay? So we're reading Jeremiah through the lens of Jeremiah. We're reading Isaiah through the lens of Isaiah. We're reading Ephesians through the lens of Paul. So sometimes when we see that they have been given, the commission from the Almighty to go and do X, Y, and Z, we kind of take that on for ourselves. Well, Jeremiah went and said he had a dream and he went and did this. And then Paul, he saw this and he went and did that. Well, wait a minute. Are you the apostle? Did the Lord expressly tell you to do this? So you have to be careful, because the question that matters is, am I my brother's keeper? I want to build up the body of Christ. Okay? And the best way you can do that is changing you, not trying to change everybody else. So now that we've established that dreams that you dream are 99.99999% about you, let's deal with interpretation. There are 2 types of interpretation, and I've experienced this personally. I've experienced instant interpretation, but that's been about, maybe out of all the dreams I've dreamt since 2002, that I've recorded, that I've now, put down in a journal, I would say about 2% of those dreams, I got instant interpretation. I didn't have to go and look at symbols, things like that, none of that. And that was around, I was praying to the Lord about a church that I should attend. At the time, I had been my parents had brought us to a church. We'd been there for nearly 20 years, and the bishop had passed away. And so I was praying. I said, Lord, where do I go to next? I feel like the church that I was a part of no longer serves me. Great people, had a great time, great learning, great building up of the foundation of the kingdom. But now it was time for me to go to the next phase of my life. Where do I go? And so he gave me multiple dreams. And I never had to kind of go through them and figure things out. It was like I woke up and I knew, okay, this is my new pastor. And he showed me a certain person in the city. He said, this is your new bishop. This is your new pastor. And I went, and it was wonderful. So very few times it's going to be instant. Now that's been my experience. There might be some people who, they're like Joseph. Lord, I had a dream and I went and prayed about it. And he said, this is what the dream means. Joseph didn't have to sit down and go through and analyze, and that may not be what you have to go through, but that was my process, excuse me. So you have the instant that the Almighty gives you, but then you have the non-instant, okay? And that's when you got to do a little bit of an analysis, okay? Now, I'm going to focus on one part of it, because I think I really want to get to the whole, when you see someone famous in your dream. When you have a dream, you need to look at various things. You need to look at the mood of the dream, the theme of the dream. You need to look at, how are you feeling in the dream? What does it mean to you? How you sit and ponder, well, why was I here? Why was I doing that? How does it relate to your life, your real waking life? Okay? And then, which is the crux of this video, we're going to focus on characters. Okay? Characters in your dream. Okay? Just like all your dreams are always going to be about you, every character in your dream is you. Okay? That was, excuse my poor grammar. Every character will always be you. I don't care who you see in your dream. Every character is a reflection of you. I would even dare say everything is a reflection of you. The house is a reflection of you. Animals in your dream are a reflection of you. Water is a reflection of you. Okay? It's a reflection of who you are, where you are in your walk. Or if it's, say, maybe it's an ocean, maybe it's a reflection of something that's troubling you or something that's coming that you need to really think about. Like, well, how is this affecting my life? Okay? Every person you see in a dream is about you. Now, I'm going to quickly go through 3 different dreams that I have. I'm not going to give you the entire dream, but just sort of snippets from 3 different dreams that I had where the Lord He used different characters, okay, in these dreams to give me sort of insight. But I just want to give you an example of 3 little snippets of dreams that I've had over the past, 10 to 15 years. So the first one, and this is just a snippet, it's not the whole dream. The first one, I had the character that was in the dream was Benedict Cumberbatch. Okay, we all know him. He's a famous actor. He was on The Avengers. He plays Doctor Strange. He's a really great actor. He was on a train with me. We weren't together, but I saw him with his family. And there was, his left earlobe, was badly burned. And it was because of something he had did. He was doing something to his son's arm. He was tattooing on his arm, but that it ended up being on his left earlobe. His left earlobe was badly burned. Now, am I going to go and put a video out to Benedict Cumberbatch, who probably will never see it because he doesn't even know who I am, and say, well, you know what? The left ear represents the strength of the Lord. Because we know the right represents man's strength. And the left represents God's strength. And the left ear means you're not hearing him. And I'm here to tell you, Benedict, you need to come out of that sin. Whatever city you are in, you better come out. No, God's not going to tell me that. No. If I see Benedict Cumberbatch in my dream, he's a facet of who I am. Now, oddly enough, I had this dream probably at least, I would say maybe 10 years ago. Benedict Cumberbatch is an actor. Guess what your girl's doing right now? She's an actress. Yeah, I'm a voice actor. I also act on camera. Whoa! So, Benedict Cumberbatch is a facet of me. He was a facet. He was the actor in me that was coming out. So the left earlobe, okay, the left represents the arm of the Lord. Okay, it's his strength. The earlobe is not really the ear. So even though you may have a burnt earlobe, it doesn't mean you can't hear. However, it does represent the ear, and the ear does represent how I hear. So am I hearing the Lord? So is the Lord telling me that as I go through my acting, he develops me, Demetria, make sure that you are relying on me? Who knows? Okay? So when I see an actor or a famous person, I don't care if it's Beyonce, I don't care if it's Nas, I don't care if it's Meryl Streep. It's not them. It's an aspect of me. Okay, another dream I had, it started out where T.D. Jakes, who is a famous preacher in Texas, was at my house. And he was conversing and walking around the house with me. And the conversation went from casual to spiritual. He was discussing things with me and advising me. So, okay, well, who is T.D. Jakes? I don't know him personally. He doesn't know me personally. I know of T.D. Jakes. Well, who is he? T.D. Jakes is a famous preacher. We know that. So what could he represent? Oh, he could represent, that part of me that is really moving towards the Lord, a part of me that's really digging in, or maybe even a part of me that's saying, hey, you know what? We need to get a little bit more into the Word of God. T.D. Jakes also could represent an angel or the Almighty himself saying, I want to get to know you more, Demetria. Now remember, everything I see in the dream is a reflection of me. So the house, we're walking around my house. And the house we were walking around was my childhood home. The childhood home represents my inner child. Maybe the issues I haven't dealt with from childhood. We were conversing and walking around the house and through the house. And the conversation went from casual to spiritual. And we were discussing, and he was advising me. So the house was a part of it. The house also represents Demetria, also represents me. Now I have to look at the state of the house. Was the house in ill repair? Was the house humming along? Did I want to be in that house at that time? Okay? And the fact that I'm seeing me in the dream represents my true self. Okay? Whereas TD Jakes or any other person can represent an aspect of me. When I see me, it represents me, the person. I'm not just talking about the me I see in the mirror every day. I'm talking about the real me, the deep, deep down, Demetria that nobody else sees, that maybe even she doesn't see. Dealing with my true self. Okay? So as you can see, I'm not going to call TD Jakes, or I'm not going to take that dream to say, oh my gosh, the Lord gave me a dream and TD Jakes was walking around my house and he was advising me, you know what? That's the Lord telling me he needs to be my pastor. No, he didn't tell me that. He just used TD Jakes as a symbol that I respect to show me something about my walk with God, and that God wants to talk with me, and there are some things he wants for me to share with him. Okay? The last example, Creflo Dollar. I was at Creflo Dollar's church, and I was at my own church, and my own church service had ended. And so I slipped into Creflo Dollar's church, and it was like after the word had gone forth, and he was raising an offering. And he basically said, I want you guys to put your offering in my hand, like literally in my hand. So I wrote 2 checks in the dream. And the service ended, and of course, if you've ever watched his church, I think it's called World Changers Church, it's a lot of people there. So I was trying to get to put the check in his hand, but I didn't make it. So I began to search for Creflo Dollar all throughout the church. I saw his wife Taffy. I didn't want to put it in her hand because the word was like, put it in my hand. So I was like, okay, fine, put it in his hand. So does that mean that I should leave my church in real life and let me go join World Changers? No. I'm not going to call Creflo Dollar either and say, the Lord showed me that you and I need to be your armor bearer, that I need to walk with you. But no. Creflo Dollar is a symbol. His church is a symbol. His wife is a symbol. Okay? There's meaning in the fact that I left my church service. Okay, I have to think about which church was I attending at that time. I left my church service to go hear a word from him. Why did I write 2 checks? And why did I need to put it in his hand? Why did I have this dream of putting it in his hand? So everything's about me. And so I really, really want you to really be careful, okay? The Lord speaks all the time through dreams. But make sure you understand that it's all about you. It's not about somebody else. Don't go to somebody and tell them something they may not be ready to hear, even if it's positive. You don't know. Paul, he tells us to be careful. He says, hey, just because you can eat meat offered to idols, because idols aren't real, be careful about letting other people see you eat meat offered to idols, because they may not know that, and it may really hurt their walk with Christ. Does that mean that we have to be paranoid about people's feelings and we can't live our life comfortably? No, but it means that I need to be watchful. I need to be mindful of my sisters and my brothers in Christ. And any dream that I dream, it's not for me to go out. It's not for me to go out and tell them something. No, it's not. That's not my job. In fact, there is one dream that I have that I know I have gone through it, and I'm like, this is about a pastor in my city. But I haven't released it. And I've been trying to talk to a bishop in the area that I could maybe just connect with. Just say, well, what do you think? The Lord gave me this dream years ago. I'm not going to go to this pastor because it's a very not great dream. I'm not going to go to this pastor and tell them this. And I know this pastor. I have somewhat of a relationship with this pastor, meaning like I know them. It's not so they wouldn't look at me and say, you're a stranger. So I've fellowshiped with them for some time. And And so I haven't released it yet. I've already shared it with one person, but I want to share it with someone else because I don't want that person to fall. Or I don't want that person, they may, look at me and say whatever, but it could just sort of rest in their mind. So I want to be careful. So remember, your dreams are always about you. They will always be about you. And the great thing about that is that you can now use these dreams to really converse with the Lord. Many times I will ask the Lord for a dream. There may be something on my mind that I'm like, well, Lord, can you show me? And because he has let me know that, Demetria, one of the ways I speak to you is through your dreams, he and I can have a conversation. Now, of course, dreams can be confusing. They can be challenging because you have to now go through and look and think about symbols and think about how they, reflect, you. I'm at a point now where when I get a dream, sometimes I don't even, record it. I just automatically know because I've been looking and studying dreams so long that I can kind of say, okay, all right, that's what you're saying to me. Or, okay, I need to focus on this. But it's still a learning process. So be blessed, but make sure that what you do is about you. Because this is the thing. The greatest way that you can be a blessing and to the kingdom and to other people is to change you. Not try to change everybody else. He never put you on this earth to change T.D. Jakes. He didn't put you on this earth to change Juanita Bynum or Beyonce or any other person out there who's famous. Change you. He didn't put you on this earth to change your mate. Change you. Deal with yourself. When you see a dream, even if you see your husband or your boyfriend or someone close to you, maybe a friend, a girlfriend, that dream's about you and they represent an aspect of you. I have 3 siblings. Whenever I see my siblings in my dream, which I do a lot, it's never about them. I look at each of my siblings' strongest personality. I have one sibling who's very vocal. I have one sibling who's more encouraging and more like, well. And I also have another sibling who's more like me. And we're more so close and we kind of think alike. So whenever I see them in my dreams, I know, okay, God's dealing with that issue. So whenever you see somebody that you have a relationship with, and let's say the person that's in the dream, they might be someone who's very rebellious, or maybe they're very stubborn. God is speaking to that stubbornness in you. Or maybe you might see somebody who's very caring, who's very nurturing. Okay, Lord, you're speaking to that side of me. So it's always about you. Never, ever try to make it about somebody else. And for the love of the Almighty, please do not go out and advertise your dreams as something for somebody else to heed in their life. It's for you to heed in yours. So be blessed and share your dreams. If you have a dream that's bothering you, and again, I'm putting my disclaimer out there, I am not Joseph, okay? I am not Daniel. But I have studied dreams long enough that, hey, I wouldn't mind talking with you about your dream to help lead you to go to God and seek him for yourself. Because I don't know you. He knows you. But if I can be of any help, I'd love to help you. So please feel free to share your journey with your dreams. And even if you don't have dreams, if you don't have them, that's fine. God can speak to you in many ways. Remember, he can do anything. He can't fail. So be blessed, and I will see you next time on No Magic, No Miracle. It's just method. Have a good one.